My dearest Fritz. No. Dear Fritz. I'm sorry if this seems out of the blue. I know we haven't spoken in a long time. I wrote something. And I trust you to give me your honest opinion as a fellow scholar. And as a friend. It's not like my other stories, I promise. It's about me. And my family. I hope you're feeling festive because it starts at Christmas time.
The March Theater proudly presents Act 3 of The Witch's Curse, an operatic tragedy by Joe March.
I swore to you, Father, my love for Rodrigo is as everlasting as the sun blazing in the sky. You cannot deter me.
If I cannot, perhaps this shall. I bear a letter from the dungeon keeper. It says that your Rodrigo was lost to the cold embrace of death just last night.
Rodrigo? No, it cannot be. My heart grows weak.
Christopher Columbus, Amy! I didn't mean for you to let yourself go that much!
Well, I don't know how you want it. I've never seen anybody faint before.
We can't make this a good Christmas present for Marmee if we can't even have a good fainting scene. Here, watch. No! Rodrigo? No!
Well, I don't think it'll be a good Christmas anyway without any real presents.
Oh, not this again, Amy.
It's just not fair that some girls get lots of pretty things and others get nothing at all. The only nice thing we have this year is Christmas breakfast.
Well, we have Marmee and Papa and each other.
We don't have Papa and we won't have him for a long time.
That's why we're giving up our presents, remember? If Papa and other men are sacrificing so much to fight in this war, the least we can do is not waste our money.
It's not a waste. I need Faber's drawing pencils, Meg. I'd be able to make the best drawings in the world if I had drawing pencils like a real artist.
I'm not happy about it either, Amy, but can you at least try to be grateful?
And can you at least try to faint?
Now, if we could just get you to say your lines, Beth. It'll just be us and the neighborhood girls.
I really don't think...
That's okay, Beth. I'll write you a part with no lines. You won't have to say anything.
Girls, I'm home.
Marmee! Quick, get this room clean! Hurry! Quick! Fainting or she'll know something's up!
Glad to find you so happy, my girl.
Merry Christmas, Marmee!
I am so sorry I am late. Oh, Joe, you look tired to death. Come here and give me a kiss.
I'm so glad you're home. I'm super hungry.
Hannah said she was making the muffins you like for breakfast.
Well, girls, there's something I have to ask you.
What is it?
Do you remember Mrs. Hummel? We met her last summer. Well, her husband was killed in the war a few months ago. She and her children have nothing. There's no food anywhere. Would you consider giving them your breakfast as a Christmas present?
Well, I'm glad you came before we started eating.
Here, Hannah, can you help me?
Oh, I knew you'd do, girls. I'll make it up to you at dinner, I promise.
We were glad we decided to help the minute we got there. The Hummels lived in one miserable bare room with no fire and no blankets. We played with the kids for hours after they ate, and it was the best Christmas breakfast we ever had, even if we didn't get to eat any of it.
Is it fairies?
It's Santa Claus!
No, Barbie, it was you. I know it was.
Oh, Mom March decided to be good for once.
All wrong, dearies. Old Mr. Lawrence sent it.
Joe, that's the Lawrence boy's grandfather.
The Lawrence boy?
That's the boy that walks around outside the house next door sometimes.
He'd make a great friend. I know it. He's just too shy.
Wait a minute, girls. I have a surprise for you.
Open it!
He says he's doing well and will make it through the cold season better than we feared. And there's a special message for you at the bottom. Give the girls my dear love and a kiss. I know they will be loving children to you and will fight their battles bravely. So when I get back, I will be prouder than ever of my little women.
other neighborhood girls. It was a triumph of theater, Fritz. Amy tripped and fell when she tried to faint, and was so upset that she tried to run off stage. But Beth saved the day and consoled her at the last second. Meg's friend Sally Gardner was there and loved it so much she invited Meg and I over to her house for their New Year's ball. Now, Meg loved to be pretty. Probably too much, in fact. All she could do was fret about her hair not looking pretty enough. So she asked me to help her. That was a mistake.
Are you sure this will work, Joe?
Of course. Keep still now.
I wish I had a silk dress like Sally Gardner. I'll look like a peasant in this one.
Better than mine with the burn in the back.
Joe, you're not gonna wear that one, are you?
Well, I don't exactly have a lot to choose from.
You cannot have everyone see you in a burned dress.
I don't care what people think.
Well, I do. Mrs. Gardner said Sally's bringing some of her friends, and I don't want to embarrass myself in front of them.
Is Meg's hair supposed to smoke like that?
It's just the dampness drying.
What's that smell? It's like burnt feathers.
There. Now, I'll remove the tongs and you'll see a cloud of little ringlets. Ready? Ta-da! Oh, Christopher Columbus.
Joe, what did you do? Oh no, it's hideous! I can't comb my hair, Joe!
I'm so sorry! Why did you ask me to do it?
It's not rude, just frizz it up and tie your ribbon so it comes over your forehead a bit. I've seen lots of girls do it like that.
Was that supposed to make it better?
I wasn't done yet. Just give me a minute.
I shouldn't have done anything to it. I'm such an idiot.
No, you're not. Let Amy try and fix your hair. I'm sure it'll look great once she's done.
Meg, are you sure you can wear these? They're tiny and these heels.
Of course I can wear them. They'll distract people from my dress. Joe, promise me that you won't do anything boyish tonight. Don't stare at people, or put your hands behind your back, or say Christopher Columbus.
How about this? If I'm doing something wrong, wink at me.
Joe.
Winking is not ladylike. I'll raise my eyebrows if you do something wrong, and nod if you're all right.
There, your hair looks very stylish now.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Stop looking in the mirror and hurry, we're going to be late. That music is capital.
Joe, remember what we talked about.
Eyebrows for no, nod for yes, and don't say things like capital. I remember.
Good. And stay still or they'll see the burn in your dress.
Hello.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know anyone was in here.
Don't mind me. Stay if you like. I'm only here because, well, I don't know very many people and felt strange at first, I guess.
So did I. I think I've seen you before. You live near us, right? So you're the Lawrence, Mr. Lawrence, then. We love the nice Christmas present you sent us.
Grandpa sent it, but thank you, Miss March.
Oh, I'm not Miss March. I'm only Joe.
And I'm not Mr. Lawrence. Call me Laurie.
Your name is Laurie Lawrence?
Well, sort of. My name's Theodore, but I hate it. The boys at school call me Dora.
I hate my name too. I'm named after my Aunt Marshall. I don't know why. She's like a crocodile in human form. I have to go help her at her house sometimes, and she always calls me Josephine instead of Joe. How did you make the boys stop calling you Dora?
I thrashed them.
Well, I can't thrash Aunt March, so I guess I'll have to bear it.
You like to dance, Miss Joe?
I do, and there's plenty of room. In a place like this, I'm sure to mess something up. Don't you dance?
Sometimes. I did when I was abroad.
Abroad? What kinds of things happen there? I've written lots of stories about Europe, but it'd be nice to write an accurate one for
You're
a
a
change.
writer?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a writer. I love to write, but my sisters are the only ones who read my stories anyway.
Isn't that your sister? She dances beautifully.
Yep, that's Meg. Tell her that sometime, she'd probably kiss you.
Her hair is lovely.
That's a splendid polka. Why don't you go try it?
If you'll come too.
Oh, I can't.
Why not?
Well, I have a bad habit of standing in front of the fire. And I scorched this dress one day, and I told Meg I'd stay still so no one would see it.
Well, there's a long hallway out here. We can dance as much as we'd like, and no one will see.
Laurie Lawrence. Joe! Meg? What's wrong?
I sprained my ankle. That stupid heel turned and twisted. I don't know if I can get home. Ow! Maybe we can... hello?
Meg, this is Laurie Lawrence, and he thought your ridiculous slippers were pretty.
Please, allow me to get you a carriage.
Oh, no, thank you. We could never afford it.
Oh, no worries, I'll cover the cost.
But we'd love that. Thanks, Laurie. See, I knew he was nice.
Well, I met a very nice man tonight, too. John Brooke is his name.
Did someone say John Brooke?
Oh, hello.
Did you hurt yourself?
Just a little twisted ankle. It's nothing, really.
Let me help you.
Thanks, Laurie. We can pay you back.
Tell you what, come over to my house tomorrow and we'll call it square. I get bored out of my skull all by myself.
Laurie lived in the biggest house I have ever seen. He lived with his grandpa because... Don't tell anyone this story, Fritz, but Laurie's mother, Mr. Lawrence's daughter, she was an incredible piano player, but Mr. Lawrence disowned her when she ran off with Laurie's father. Well, both of Laurie's parents died a little while after he was born. So his grandpa adopted him, and now they live in the house next door with Mr. Brooke. Laurie actually laughed at my jokes and my stories and invited the whole family over. I knew Laurie and I were kindred spirits, though. He was the best person, well, boy, at least, that I'd ever met.
Joe! I brought that book you asked for.
Meg, can I have some money? I need to buy some limes.
Limes? Why?
Everyone's been eating them at school. All the refined girls have them.
Alright, well, here's a quarter. That should be
Thank
enough.
you! Oh, I almost forgot. This was on the front step.
Dear Miss March, I hope these slippers will be more suitable for dancing in the future, and I hope your ankle is on the mend. Sincerely, John Brooke.
Don't you ever get tired of plunking away at this old thing?
The sea key's broken again.
So, come on over to Laurie's. He's got a massive piano and he's the only one that plays on it.
Joe, his grandpa is so loud and stern.
He's not bad when you get to know him. He's just a little crotchety. Come on, you'd sound so pretty. All right, I'm going to write.
What are you working on?
I don't know, it's too bad for a title.
You know, Joe, I think you're a regular Shakespeare, no matter what you say.
And I think you are regular Mozart.
Joe! Oh. Hello, Beth. You sound wonderful. You know, I have the perfect piano for you to play on at my house.
I can't.
What do you mean, can't?
I can't come over.
Why not?
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
People? It's my greatest flaw. I'm terrified of people I don't know, and I hate going out in public. I try to change, I really do. I just can't help it.
Oh. Are you afraid of me?
No, of course not.
Well, then you don't have to be afraid of Grandpa. Hey, do you know where Joe is?
She's in her attic. She goes there when her genius burns.
So this is the writing hideaway of Joe March. I feel like I'm standing on hollow ground.
Not quite.
What is that ridiculous thing on your head?
It's my writing hat. Don't touch it.
The ground trembled around the men from east to west. The great city of Lisbon shivered with...
Don't you dare, Teddy. It's not done yet. I'm writing it for Papa when he gets home. Someday I plan to be a great writer. And write loads of books and make heaps of money and support my family till they're old and gray.
And I want to move to Europe and play piano all day like my mother. Though Grandpa will never stand for it.
How fun would it be if we could live in the dreams we make?
I'd give anything.
Don't get sentimental on me, Teddy. You're as bad as Meg.
Teddy? Is there someone else here?
Don't be a goose. It's you, of course. Teddy for Theodore. I want to have my own name for you.
Fine, I'll allow it.
I don't hear Beth anymore. Wonder what she's doing.
don't go. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. Did my grandson ask for you to come over? He asked because I asked him to ask you. I heard you playing piano, and it gets so quieter out here most days, and I thought I'd like to have a little music again.
I really should go. I didn't mean to disturb anything.
Oh, you disturb nothing. In truth, I'd love for you to come over and play as often as you'd like. No one's here most days, so it'll just be you.
I'm afraid I'm not very good.
On the contrary, you have natural talent. My boy thinks so as well. I had a daughter once. She played piano too. I lost her to my own foolishness. Please, will you play this?
Is Telemann all right?
Splendid.
Teacher. He hit me! What? Slow down. Why did Mr. Davis hit you? Because he's a mean, miserable, Amy.
Well, Mr. Davis, he kind of, sort of, he banned lines.
He what? Amy! Well, it's not like it was a fair rule. Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, May gave me money to buy lines because all the elegant girls have them and they always make fun of me. So, I brought some to school, even though Mr. Davis said no. And I thought they'd be impressed. Of course, first thing rich Jenny Snow asked for one, and I said no. And then she went and she told Mr. Davis, and then he made me throw the lines away, and then...
You know the rules. Your hands, Miss March.
And he hit me! And then he made me stand in front of the whole class for 15 minutes, and now I am never, ever going back. Ever! You won't make me go back, will you?
No, I don't think so. I don't approve of punishment like that for children.
Mommy, I just wanted them to see how refined I was. And now I can't even think of them. We're all laughing at me.
Sweetheart, listen. I know you want to be lovely and refined, and it's good you want others to respect you. But real talent or goodness won't be overlooked forever. All right? Good. Joe, will you go tell Mr. Davis Amy will not be returning?
Of course.
Here, Amy, come with me. I found the perfect pine cone for you to draw.
I hope all those girls leave his miserable school!
Oh, Amy, she'll learn.
Marmee, can I show you something? When Joe and I were at the Gardners, Mrs. Gardner's daughter Sally, I think she liked me, and she invited me to spend 2 weeks with her and her friend Annie Moffat. This is the formal invitation. Can I go?
Well, I don't know.
Please, Marmee, it'll be in a few months when the opera comes. The opera, Marmee!
Well, as long as there's plenty of supervision, I suppose that'll be all right.
Oh, thank you! I promise you won't be disappointed in me.
Meg is a little like me, Fritz. Once she gets something in her head, there is no getting it out. All Meg could talk about for the next few months was her trip. She obsessed over it. Luckily, something else came up to take over her mind for a while.
Hurry, Joe! Where are you two going?
Little girls shouldn't ask questions.
Tell me I want to come. Beth's busy playing the piano at Laurie's and I'm bored.
Well, we're gonna go see...
Don't tell her, Meg, or you'll mess it up. You can't go, Amy, so don't be a baby and whine about it.
You're going to this theater to see Seven Castles with Laurie, aren't you? I will go because Marmee said I could and it was mean not to tell me in time.
Maybe we could take her.
She shouldn't poke herself in where she isn't wanted.
Meg said I could.
You can't come when you're not asked, so you can just stay where you are.
You'll be sorry for this, John Mark. See if you aren't.
The play was probably the most splendid thing I had ever witnessed, Fritz. Of course, Amy's little tantrum put a cloud over the evening. I figured she'd be over it by the time we got back.
Did you see the princess's hair? It was wonderful.
The best part was the elves. You should have seen Kenny's face.
I'm glad to see you're feeling better. Maybe when I get back from the Moffats, I could take you to go see it.
Amy, what did you do? She probably dumped out my desk drawer again. Really, Amy?
So, Meg, are you ready to leave tomorrow?
Oh, yes, well, I wish I had a better dress.
Well, I'm sure you'll look great in yours.
Thank you.
Did someone take my book? I left it on my desk and it's not there anymore.
No.
No.
Amy, you have it.
No, I don't.
You know where it is, then.
No, I don't.
You're lying. Where is it?
I'm not lying. I don't know where it is. I don't have it. And I don't care.
Tell me where it is or I'll make you.
Yell as much as you want. You'll never see your stupid book again.
Why not?
I burnt it up.
You burned it?
Yes, I did. I told you I'd make you sorry for being so mean to me earlier.
Don't come crying to me, Amy. You know how hard she worked on that. Amy, go to your room now. Joe.
Joe!
It's late. You should come down to bed.
Joe. Joe, I'm really, really sorry.
I will never forgive you.
But, Amy, why don't you go downstairs? You too.
What she did was wrong, and there will be consequences. But don't let the sun go down on your anger. Forgive each other, help each other, and begin again tomorrow.
I worked on that story for years, Marmee. It was almost done. I was going to give it to Papa when he got home, and now I can never write it again. She doesn't deserve to be forgiven.
I will. Have a good time, sweetheart. Remember what we talked about?
I will, and I'll tell you everything about it when I get home. I promise. Goodbye. Bye.
Anyone home?
Laurie, you're going skating? I want to come.
Don't let her, Teddy.
Maybe next time, Amy. Come on, Joe, let's race.
Hey, wait for me to get my skates on, cheater!
Looks like I'm winning.
Teddy!
I hate this. I said I'm sorry. still won't forgive me.
Maybe wait until Laurie puts in her better mood. She'll come around, Amy. She always does. This is just really, really hard for her. You have to give her a little more time.
She'll forgive me when she's happy with Laurie. I'll go get my skates! Hey, Joe! Laurie! Wait for me!
You're the cheater, Teddy! Stop it! We were on the ice. I saw Amy following us, and I tried to ignore her. I heard Teddy call out, "Stay out of the middle, the ice isn't safe there," but it was like there was a little demon on my shoulder, saying whether she heard it or not, let her take care of herself.
Quick, she fell through the ice.
Sit on the couch quickly. Beth, go grab some blankets. Hannah, something hot to drink.
Amy, how are you feeling?
Well,
Keep it. Someone who swims like a polar bear should at least look like one, huh?
Laurie, maybe it'd be best if you went home. Thanks for bringing her.
Of course. Joe?
I'll see you tomorrow, Teddy.
You're safe. Joe, she's gone upstairs, Margaret. I'll be right back. Joe, what happened to your hands?
They got cut up taking off my skates. Laura's hands are worse.
Come here.
Are you sure she's safe?
Very safe. I don't even think she'll catch a cold. It was wise of you to cover up and bring her home.
Teddy did everything. He held her up till I could get a branch to drag her out. I was the one who let her go. Marmee, if she died, it would be my fault.
What do you mean?
Laurie said the ice wasn't safe in the middle. And I knew Amy didn't hear, but I didn't say anything. Why am I like this, Marmee? So passionate, and I get so angry. I can hurt anyone and enjoy it. I'm gonna drive everyone away one day. I know it. You have to help me.
I will. Joe, we all have our temptations, some much worse than yours. And sometimes it takes our whole lives to conquer. You may think your temper is the worst in the world, but mine used to be just like it.
You had a temper? But you're never angry.
I'm angry nearly every day of my life, Joe. But I've learned not to show it. If I can master my temper, Joe, I know you will too.
I'll try to be as good as you.
I hope you're a good deal better. Remember, you can always come to me, or your father, or God himself if you ever need help. You ready?
Amy?
Oh, Daisy, I'm so glad you decided to wear my dress. It looks gorgeous on you. Don't you think, Annie?
You look like a doll.
And those flowers the Lawrence boys sent you are just wonderful.
I hear the boys well off. And handsome, too. Don't you think, Daisy?
Well, he's closer to Joe, really. Look, speak of the devil.
Daisy, your little boy is here. Well,
Laurie?
I think it's time for more champagne. girls.
I was starting to think you wouldn't come.
Mr. Brooke was visiting an old friend, and Joe wanted me to see how you were.
And what will you tell her?
Why are they calling you Daisy?
Well, it's a nickname, of course, like Laurie or Teddy. Belle says it's because I'm fresh-faced and pretty. Do you think I'm fresh-faced and pretty?
I suppose.
Don't you like me this way?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Well, it's not you.
You're the rudest boy I've ever met.
Meg, wait. I'm sorry. Dance with me?
I'm afraid it'll be too disagreeable for you.
Oh, not at all. I'm sure you'll be kinder to my feet than Joe is.
You don't get it. Meg is so plain, and Daisy is so exciting.
Meg, I don't like your dress, but I think you are just amazing.
Make sure my skirt doesn't trip you. Laurie, could you do me a favor?
Anything.
Could you not tell everyone at home about my dress? It'll worry them.
I promise. And for what it's worth, I like Meg more than Daisy.
Thanks, Laurie.
A couple months after Meg got back, I read a story a woman had written in the newspaper. A woman! Published in the paper! She got good money for it, too. I had a couple stories I was working on, and I had to see if I could do it. I know what you say about these kinds of stories, Fritz, but trust me, they were less spicy back then.
Is genius burning, Miss Joe?
Yes. Shh.
Oh, don't mind me, I just thought you'd like to hear today's edition of the Spread Eagle newspaper.
Penny, I have to get this dialogue down before I forget it. Shh. Now.
The Duel, a romance by the Josephine March.
Very funny, Ted.
I'm not kidding, see for yourself.
Christopher Columbus! Is this really happening?
The writer Joe March is celebrated American author.
I have to tell them!
Joe, what's going on up there?
Oh, you can't tell them. I want to be surprised. Nothing much. I was just reading a rather exceptional story in the Spread Eagle newspaper this morning.
Really?
Oh, yes. Here. I'll read it for you. The Duel. The silvery moon painted the city of Lisbon in soft light as two lovers, the lovely Viola and the dashing Angelo, conversed.
Oh, Angelo, I shall be lost if this is the last time we see each other.
I swear it shall not be. Tomorrow night, we must fly away.
Yes.
Angelo!
It's Hugo. That villainous count will separate us, my love.
We cannot let him. I swear to you, Angelo, I will fight to my death before that vile worm parts us.
Angelo, we meet at last. Wait.
Leave us, Hugo. You've no right to interfere with our undying love.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't interrupt me.
I have every right.
Hugo, stop this madness.
Never. I will never stop until Viola is mine.
I will do it all again for you, my love.
Ha-ha! Finally! Viola is mine!
And so Viola stood victorious, bereft of her love for all time. The end.
So who wrote it? You never said.
Oh, just a little author named Josephine Moore! Oh my God, that's amazing! No. I took it to the editor of the Spread Eagle, and he said he'd publish it, and maybe next time he'd even pay me for it.
Come on, we have to tell Marmee.
I'm so proud of you, Joe.
Really? Did you really like it?
I loved it.
Well, that's quite enough of me for one day, huh? How's your new song coming along?
Not good.
What?
It's called Farewell to the Piano.
I like it. Keep going. It gets better every day.
Meg's apparently too grumpy to clap today, right, Meg?
I think November is the most disagreeable month of the year.
That's the reason I was born in it.
It's okay, Meg. It looks like two good things are about to happen. Look, Marmee and Laurie are here.
Hey girls, anyone want to go for a ride with me?
Any letter from Papa yet?
No.
I'm much too busy to go for a ride.
Mr. Brooke will be there, of course.
Well, I suppose I could find the time.
Joe,
Sure. Me too. Just don't drive too fast, Laurie.
anything I can get for you, ma'am?
Can you go to the post office, dear, and stay for a letter from Papa? We haven't gotten one. Maybe there's a delay. Margaret, a telegram for you just arrived.
Laurie, get some water.
Go! Mrs. March, your husband is very ill. Come at once. It's from the Army Hospital in Washington.
Lord have mercy. Papa?
Oh no, but it might be too late. Oh, please, no, Lord.
I'll get your things right away.
Right. There's no time for tears now, girls. Joe, can you go to your attic and get me a piece of paper? Where's Laurie?
She went to get water.
Here, please, anything else I can do?
Just give me one.
Here, Marmee.
Send a telegram saying I'll go at once.
What else? I can go anywhere.
Take this to Aunt March and don't hurt yourself writing at a desperate pace. Joe, I need you to go to town and buy these things.
Of course. I wish there was something more I could do.
Hurry back.
Laurie, wait for me! Oh, I'm so sorry, sir.
I was on my way over, saw a boy riding past. He told me what had happened, and I'm here to offer myself as an escort.
You're too kind, James, but I won't have it. You can't be away that long.
Alrighty then. Be right back.
I have to do more than this. I have to generate at least a little money.
I've got plenty of
No. I need to do something. It'll make me feel like, like it increases the chances of him coming home.
And then I told him, if you're going to pay me, I'll give you my hair. I needed a change anyway.
Excuse me, where did you get that?
Oh, at the barber, dear. Although, you have such pretty hair, I don't think he could bear taking it from you. Good day.
Joe, you're not seriously thinking.
I'll think what I want to. Thank you very much. Now, go. Aunt March is usually around town bullying anyone she meets this time of day. I think it's her favorite pastime. Go, hurry! Mr. Brooke!
I heard what happened, Miss March. I came to offer myself as an escort.
Thank you. Well, Marmy's in the parlor. This way.
Here's the money from Aunt March. She wrote a note, too.
It says,
I hope you will take this experience and remember that I told you something like this would happen. As you'll recall, when your husband joined the army, I insisted...
No more facts. Did the telegram get sent?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Where's Joe?
Do you ask her? She should be back soon. Sometimes we make rash decisions, Fritz. I know you said my hair's very pretty, and that's what everyone else used to say, that it was my only beauty. I know you'll laugh when you read this part, so just try to think of how virtuous I was, okay? I came back to chaos as everyone helped Marmee get her things. There's my contribution towards making Papa comfortable and bringing him home. I swear I didn't beg or borrow or steal it. I only sold what was my own.
Joseph, what happened?
Joe, you're one beauty! Oh! It doesn't affect the fate of the nation, so don't wail, Amy. My head feels deliciously light and cool anyway. I'm satisfied, so please, just take the money and let's go to bed.
Oh, thank you, dear.
It looks beautiful. Now, it'll be an early morning for us tomorrow, so let's go to bed. Good night, girls.
Joe, what's the matter? Is it Papa?
No.
Then what's wrong?
My hair! I don't regret it. I'd do it again tomorrow if I could. I just had to cry a little for my one beauty.
It wasn't your one beauty.
Easy for you to say.
Well, let's look on the brighter side. Did you see how kind Mr. Brooke was today? And how Meg looked at him? I think they're very cute together.
Well, that makes me one of us.
I'm sure Papa will love your hair, Joe.
Do you think it looks bad? Beth!
Well, you really don't look like my Joe. But I still love you. should get some sleep, okay?
Okay.
We have a long week ahead of us. Dear Marmee, I pray for Papa. I only have a little space because Amy wants the rest of this page for her letter. I just wanted to say that I miss you both, and I'm saving some pressed flowers for when Papa comes home. Oh, and no one's been to visit the Hummels in a while. All of the other girls have so many other things going on. Please come home soon. I miss you so much. Love, Beth.
After Marmee left, we all slacked off. All except Beth. She went to the Hummels by herself because I kept putting it off. I still hate myself for it, Fritz. Christopher Columbus, what's wrong?
You've had scarlet fever, right, Joe?
Years ago when Meg did, why?
The Hummels have scarlet fever. No. I was at their house, and I was holding one of the little ones when the doctor and Mrs. Hummel came in, and she said that I should go home right away. Or I'd get the fever too, and...
No, you won't. I should have gone with you.
I have a headache, and my throat hurts a little, but only a little. I think I'll be fine.
Beth! No! Meg! Hannah! She was over at the Hummels. They have the scarlet fever, and she said she has a headache and a sore throat.
Lord have mercy. Yes, she feels hot.
Oh, no!
It's all right. Plenty of people get scarlet fever and no one dies. Don't worry. Lie down, sweetie, and I'll get you some water. We'll send for the doctor, and we'll have to send Amy to Aunt March's. Joe, can you stay and nurse Beth? And Meg, I need you to break the news to Amy.
Never!
Amy!
I'd rather get the fever than go to Aunt March's.
Amy, please be reasonable. Beth can make you very sick.
No.
You could die, for goodness sake!
You can't make me.
I got him like you asked, Meg.
Tell him, Laurie, I can't go to Aunt March's. She's so mean.
Amy, I think you should do what they're asking. Don't cry. Think about it this way. You go to Aunt March's, and I'll come and take you somewhere special every day. It'll be like a vacation.
Every single day?
On my honor as a gentleman.
Well, fine. I guess I'll go.
Wonderful.
Meg, I'll go.
Thanks, Laurie. You're a miracle worker. Amy, go grab your coat. I'll grab your suitcase.
How is she?
She says she feels better. Hannah says she thinks she'll be all right, but she looks worried.
Ready?
What do you hooligans want now?
I'm glad to see you've kept your usual hospitality, Aunt March. Wait. Beth's sick, Aunt March. She got scarlet fever from the Hummels.
No more than I figured. What, when you're allowed to go poking about among poor folks? I suppose you're going to ask to intrude on my hard-earned peace? Well, Amy can stay and make herself useful if she's sick, which I have no doubt she will be. Looks like it now. Don't cry, child. It worries me to hear people sniff. What do you hear from your mother?
Well,
Papa's much better.
That won't last long, I fancy. That man never had any stamina.
I don't think I can do it, but I'll try.
That's my girl. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Laurie,
Yes?
Beth will be okay, right?
I guarantee it. See you tomorrow.
Beth didn't get better like Hannah said. She just got worse and worse. I remember when you said, Fritz, that it's the worst thing in the world when someone you love is hurting and there's nothing you can do about it. You were right.
We have to send for Marmee. She just keeps getting worse.
I'll tell you again, Meg. It's not right to separate them. There's no use worrying her when she can't do anything.
I can't not say anything in my letters. She would want to know.
We'll see what the doctor says today. Here's a man now.
How was she today?
Not better. She taps her fingers on her comforter thinking it's her piano.
I see. If Mrs. Marsh can be sent for, she be sent for immediately.
I'll send the telegram now.
Yes. Goodness.
There's another letter from your mother. Your father's improving, and... What is it? Is Beth worse?
The doctor told us to send for Marmee.
Is that bad?
She doesn't know us. She doesn't even look like my Beth anymore.
She can't die. She's so good, and we all love her so much. I don't think God will take her away yet.
There's no one that can help us bear it, Laurie. Marmee and Papa are both gone. The doctor doesn't know what to do, and God seems so far away, I can't find him.
You could lean on me if you'd like. Besides, your mother will be back tonight anyways, and it'll all be better.
What do you mean tonight?
Well, as soon as I heard, I sent a telegram, and Mr. Brooke said she'd come right away, so she'll be back tonight. Aren't you glad I did it?
Daddy, you're an angel! How could I ever thank you?
Fly me again, I kinda liked it.
Stop it! Now, go tell Amy. Hannah! Meg!
What is it?
Laurie telegraphed Marmee yesterday. She should be here tonight.
Oh, thank God.
If God spares Beth, I'll never complain again.
If God spares Beth, I'll try to love and serve him all my life. Please, Beth, I don't know how I'm going to get through if you die, okay? Please, Beth.
Please.
Please, Beth.
Beth. Hey, Beth. She's so still. She's so still. Beth, come on. Beth, wake up. Beth. Hannah! Wake up.
The fever's broken.
She's sleeping natural. Her skin is new. She's breathing easy. Praise be given.
Girls?
Oh, Beth.
Oh, sweetheart. Come here, Joe, Meg. It's all gonna be all right. I'm here.
I cannot wait till you're back to this, Beth. It's so hard.
Harder than Aunt March's?
No, nothing is harder than that.
I think she took a liking to you, sweetheart. She seemed almost sad when you had to leave.
Aunt March emotions? Ha!
Breakfast is ready.
Joe, can I talk to you for a minute?
Of course, what's wrong?
Do you think Meg likes John Brooke?
What? I don't know anything about love and all that nonsense. Why do you ask? Wait, does he like her?
Yes, he told your father and I as much in Washington.
Oh. Oh, no.
Joe!
So all along he's been scheming to take Meg away?
He was perfectly open and honorable to your father and I about his intentions for Meg. He said he didn't want to tell her unless he knew she would requite him.
I can see it now. She'll see those handsome brown eyes and it'll all be over. She'll be as good as gone.
You can't hold on to childhood forever, Joe. Mr. Brooke is a very respectable man.
Come on, let's eat.
What's taking you so long?
Just wait, we have to say. There's a bunch of food. I'm hungry. Let's go. Come on.
Here's another Christmas present for the March family.
My girls, I've missed you all so much.
I'm so glad you're home.
You look capital, Papa.
I'm glad you're better, Papa.
Oh, my girls, you've all grown up so much. Meg, I can tell you worked so hard. Beth, I can tell you're getting a lot better. Amy, I heard how you went to Aunt March's even though she could be trying. And Joe, I couldn't find anything beautiful enough to buy with the $25 you sent to me.
Oh, look out the window. It's Aunt March. I'd like to see her face when she sees Papa's alive and kicking.
Hey, Meg, can I talk to you?
Of course, what is it?
This is yours. And I'm sorry I've kept it so long. I have to tell you something, Meg. I have feelings for you. And I know I've been vague about them, but I hope now that you know that maybe...
I have feelings for you too. I don't know what to say.
Meg, I know...
Margaret! Where? Oh, my!
Aunt March, please, let me explain.
I don't need whatever excuses you may cook up, Margaret March. I saw what was happening with my own 2 eyes. You're going to marry this penniless freeloader.
Aunt March!
It might be best if I left for a moment, Meg. Call me if you need me.
Aunt March, how could you say that in front of him? I don't approve of my niece marrying some tutor. If you mean to encourage this Mr. Cook, not 1 penny of my money goes to you. Remember that and be a sensible girl. You always have been.
Aunt March, I used to be afraid of being poor, of being on the bottom. Maybe you made me feel that way, but I think I'd rather be poor Meg March than rich somebody else. So I will be with the man I choose, and you can leave your money to whoever you want.
Well, I never. You are a willful child. When you're poor and miserable, don't expect a penny from me.
You didn't have to do that for me, Meg.
No, I think I did.
I've never seen her more bad in my entire life.
Joe, you look sad. What's the matter?
What if Meg and Mr. Brooke get married? Beth, I've had Meg my whole life. I can't imagine giving her up.
You don't have to give her up. You just go halves.
It can never be the same again.
Maybe I wish I could stop time and see where they'll be in the future. See where all of us will be.
I don't want to look into the future. Everyone looks so happy now, and I don't think they could be much improved. No, never move on from this moment. We could stay here forever.
Don't say that, Joe. You never know what's gonna happen. Maybe it'll even be something exquisite.
You're right. Good word.
You know, I think I feel good enough to play something.
Really? What are you waiting for? Go, go! She's going to play. I don't know. I don't think I can do it justice, Fritz. It was the happiest moment of my life. Years, Fritz. It was 3 years between that Christmas and the day Meg and Mr. Brooke were married. And since the postage for this letter will already take all the savings I have, I'll try to summarize. We were so glad to have Papa home. I think Marmee was happiest of all. Of course, Marmee and Papa weren't the only ones enjoying each other's company. John Brooke went to fight the war, got injured, and had to come home. When he got back, he proposed to Meg first thing, and of course she accepted him. I lucked out and never had to go back to work for Aunt March. She liked Amy so much she wanted her instead. Amy was getting more invested in her art, and sweeter and more sensible too. Everyone said she was the belle of the family. Beth kept busy by sewing gifts for the school kids that ran by her house, and by playing on the beautiful new piano Mr. Lawrence gave her, of course. She was weaker after the scarlet fever, but she was just on the verge of getting better. I was saving up my money to take her to the mountains. I spent most of my time with Beth, and we sat up in my attic while I wrote stories for the newspaper. Rubbish stories, you'd call them. Say what you want about the quality, it was the money I cared about. The Duke's daughter paid the butcher's bill, a phantom hand put down new carpet, and the curse of the Coventrys took Beth on a trip to the seashore.
Joe?
Over here, Teddy! What in the world is that?
It's an alarm rattle. It's for Meg, so when thieves break in, she alerts the whole neighborhood. Nice thing, isn't it?
Laurie went to college, and every weekend came back with something ridiculous for Meg and Mr. Brooke. Marmee checked in with him every week to make sure he wasn't getting into trouble, though we all knew he was. In his letters, he told us about girls he was in love with, a new one every time. He took good care of Beth, and flirted with Amy so shamelessly I wanted to hit him sometimes. As for me, Marmee told me about one of her friends, Mrs. Kirk, who ran a boarding house in New York City and needed a governess for her daughters. I thought I could go and write and finally try my wings all on my own. But Beth, I couldn't leave her. Now her health was shaky and she wasn't really strong enough to do a lot. Someday she'd get better and then I'd go, but I wasn't really thinking about that. Not then, because Meg's wedding was taking up my whole mind. It came just like that. Fritz, so fast it almost took me by surprise. I wish you could have seen the June roses blooming, Fritz. It was like the whole earth was celebrating.
Joe?
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
There's still time to change your mind, you know? Stay with us and have good times forever.
I don't think so.
Girls, Marmee's looking for you.
Beth, you have to promise to visit as much as you can, all right?
shall we?
Today we celebrate the union of John Brooke and Margaret March. John, do you promise to love, guide, and cherish Meg as long as you both shall live?
I do.
And Meg, do you promise to love, guide, and cherish John as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Then in the sight of God, I pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Brooke.
Just like that, you're married.
And we can visit every day. Do you want to go somewhere so you can have a good cry?
Yes. Goodness. If this is a mess, imagine what it'd be like if I went to New York.
If you went. Wait, you're not going?
No. I wish I could. It sounds exciting. It's just... never mind.
Jill March, you're a big softie.
Oh, shush.
It won't be easy, my dear.
That's fine with me.
Shall we walk home, Mrs. Brooke?
Gladly, Mr. Brooke.
Almost ready, Joe? Ready as I'll ever be, Amy.
Goodness, Joe. Why can't you stand to look presentable for just one visit?
I think I look perfectly presentable, Amy. If people care more about my clothes than they care about me, I don't really want to see them.
Oh, shush. Just let me do the talking. You know she likes me best.
Come to see if I've croaked yet, eh? Well, sorry to disappoint you.
That's not it at all, Aunt March.
Amy, it's all well and good. I have a question I must ask you anyway. Goodness, Josephine, stand up straight.
She's just tired. We've been out making calls all day.
You're too kind. I hear you're helping the Gardeners organize a banquet to support the war efforts.
Oh, yes. I've been happy to help in whatever way I can. The Gardeners are very generous to let me help.
Oh, please, Amy. The Gardeners are just saying that so you'll work for free.
Well, I don't mind being patronized as long as patron means well.
I'm glad you're helping, Amy. It's not that. It's just... I just hate favors. I'd rather do everything myself.
Would you now?
She's just being honest.
Do you speak French, Josephine?
Oh, No, I think it's such a slippery, silly language, no.
Well, I suppose that settles it then.
Settles what?
Amy, dear, I'm going on vacation to Europe this spring, and I wish you to accompany me.
What? But, Aunt March, you always said you would take me to Europe.
Well, I was going to, but I don't suppose you would want to, what with French being such a slippery little language.
Please, March, I'm sorry about what I said. I swear, I'm just a little prickly today, so...
You should have thought of that earlier. It's a shame you're not more agreeable, girl. Maybe you'd have more friends rather than your sisters and that boy who's so smitten with you. It's laughable. Maybe you'll learn a lesson.
Aunt March.
We'll be leaving now.
Joe, wait. I won't go, I promise. She was way out of line.
Maybe I'll finally learn.
No, don't say that.
Amy, please don't stay back for me.
But you've always wanted.
I'm not going to let this hurt someone else in the family, Amy, please.
Well, it won't just be a pleasure trip. I'm going to go to Rome and learn everything there is to know about being an artist, and I'll write you letters and draw sketches, and it'll be like you're there yourself. Listen, Joe, you and me, we're gonna make fortunes for Marmee, Papa, and Beth forever. I can paint and you can do your writing. You have to support them, okay? Good. Now let's go back. I'll tell Aunt March I'm going, but you don't have to come with.
Do you think Laurie is smitten with me?
I just think Aunt March is jealous she doesn't have any friends. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I will. See you guys. Bye.
Draw lots of sketches.
I will.
Have you read Amy's latest letter yet? Dearest people, we made it to the Irish coast today. It was so green and sunny with ruins on some of the hills, I did draw it first thing. Look. We took a carriage ride to London, where we met one of Aunt's friends and her son.
A boy.
She goes on. His name is Fred Vaughn, and he's the nicest man I ever met, other than Papa and Laurie and John Brooke, of course. Great. Gone for less than a month, and she's already in love.
Marmee!
She's not home.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm wonderful, actually. I just came over because I had to tell you all something.
Christopher Columbus! You're pregnant! A baby? When did you find out? Does John know? Here, let me feel. Teddy would say that feels like a girl. Oh my gosh, baby! I should go start making a bonnet right now.
Meg, congratulations.
Thank you. You know, that's the happiest I've seen Beth since the wedding.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, she's just been so subdued lately.
Well, maybe it's just because she's growing up and feeling a little overwhelmed by it all. Besides, we both know she's still on the mend from the fever. She's weak. That's why I can't go to New York. I have to be here for her.
Oh, there's Marmee coming. Well, I just want to tell her by myself. She'll guess if she sees all three of us.
Oh, hurry back! Pregnant! Marmie's gonna be a grandma. I'm almost done working on a new story. I think I'll call it Olympia's Oath.
What's it about?
A girl, her murderous sister, the man they both love. Macabre, I know, but the editor said I could get $10 for this one.
How much would you have made in New York?
Oh, I don't know. 25, 30, maybe? Here, let me get the story. I'll read a little bit for
I
you.
have to ask you a question, Joe.
Of course.
And you have to promise you'll be honest.
Of course.
Am I the reason you're not going to New York?
Well, I mean, I don't want to leave you here all by yourself, but that's not the only reason.
Are you sure? Because you've been saying forever you wanted to try your own wings and see how you do in the real world. And you would have so many more opportunities in New York.
Well, I'm making do just fine here. Really, Beth, it's okay. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, you know, I was thinking, and maybe I should try my own wings too. See how I do in the real world. Besides, I'm the only one who hasn't done something extraordinary or marvelous.
What about your music? You're a great pianist, and other things too. The school kids that come by, they love you. You're the sweetest, kindest, best human ever. That's extraordinary and marvelous to me.
Thanks, Joe. Just promise me you'll think about it.
Okay, I'll think about it. Come on, let's go check on Meg and Marmee.
I'll be there in a minute.
I really didn't think I wanted to go. But Beth was persistent about me going, and after a few weeks, I started to really think about it. I did want to try my wings. I wanted to see how things went, one lone rider against the world. Marmee wrote to Mrs. Kirk, who still needed a governess, and so suddenly I found myself on a train, bound for New York. It was hard to say goodbye. Thank you. I won't. I promise I'll be safe, all right? I won't even think of danger. I can never. I will. With Marmee. Thank you. Goodbye, Meg. Write me lots of letters, okay? Goodbye, Papa. Bye, Laurie. Excuse me, 103 Birch, do you know 103 Birch Street is? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. 103 Birch Street, and oh, sorry, excuse me, 103, oh my goodness.
Please, let me help.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, my bad.
No trouble at all. I'm just a bit topsy-turvy, I guess. It's so crowded. I'm Josephine March, by the way.
Friedrich Bhaer. Your hat is thunderous.
Wondrous. What a good word.
You like it?
I like good, strong words that mean something. Oh, can you help me find 103 Birch Street? This place is a lot more chaotic than what I'm used to.
You jest, Miss Kirk's boarding house.
Yes. Do you live there?
Me and my nephews do. I tutor some of the children there.
Oh, well, we're in the same boat then. I'm going to be a governess.
I can go with you if you'd like.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you.
Oh, no, please. Allow me.
Yes, Fritz, you're finally in this story. On our way to Mrs. Kirk's boarding house, you told me all about you. How you were a professor from Germany, how you were taking care of your nephews, Franz and Emil, how much you loved teaching people. By the time we got back to Mrs. Kirk's boarding house, I felt like we were old friends.
Kirk?
Oh, Professor, I'm glad you're back. The children have been in my hair since you left, asking for their bear.
Well, they shall have their bear. Where are they?
In the laundry room, playing menagerie. They need their effalon.
I am an expert at being an awful aunt. It was a pleasure to meet you, Miss March.
Oh, goodness, Josephine. I didn't even realize you were here. Welcome. How's your trip?
Very good, thank you, Mrs.
I see you've met the professor. He's a wonderful man, like a ray of sunshine around here. The children just can't get enough of him.
That's
Oh,
nice.
your room, right this way. Oh, so how's your trip?
Very good, Mrs. Kirk.
Here's your room. Breakfast at 8 each day, dinner at 5. You can meet the other boarders once you're settled.
Nice to meet you too. Okay. It's just a city, Joe. Just a city. Nothing to be worried about. The editor of the Weekly Volcano newspaper. My name is Josephine March. I'm an author from Concord, Massachusetts. I'm submitting a few stories and I hope you'll consider them. I've written for many periodicals in the past, including the Spread Eagle newspaper. My work includes Olympia's... Oh, it's an enthralling piece about... Professor Bhaer, is that you?
Miss March!
If I'd known I'd be exposed to so much culture at Mrs. Kirk's, I would have come sooner.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were in there. Is that your room?
Yes.
Oh, well, I promise to keep my melodies to myself in the future.
I don't mind. It reminds me of home in Massachusetts.
Well, you may continue what you were doing. Sorry for the interruption.
It's fine. I'm just writing anyway.
You are an author.
I like to think so. I only wish I was better at characters. Good day, Professor. If you could give your answer as soon as possible, I would greatly appreciate it. Many thanks, Josephine March.
Miss March, sorry for the disruption, but I just thought you might like...
The complete works of Shakespeare. To Topsy-Turvy Miss March. Shakespeare will help you immensely, for the study of character in this book will help you to see it in the world and paint it with your pen. From your new friend, Friedrich Bhaer.
I mean, I should have asked if you wanted it first.
Oh, no, it's so thoughtful. Thank you.
Did you see the part underneath?
Oh, I can't read German.
Well, I will translate. It says, "Welcome to New York. I've never had a writer for a neighbor before, and I hope your stories bring you happiness."
I hope so too, Professor. Those first few weeks were hard. Everywhere I looked was something that made me miss home, but you made it better, Fritz. I loved our conversations and our shared struggles trying to teach Mrs. Kirk's children. I loved all of it. Between you and the letters from Beth, I was happy with my first flight. I told you all about my sisters, of course, and you told me about yours. Do you remember?
Miss March.
Professor Bhaer, got another book for me?
Yes, geography again. I thought it might be helpful.
It's exactly what I needed, thank you. Has no cover.
A boon for friends and Abel, I'm sure. Their mother gave them that, but they've outgrown it now.
Their mother? Your sister?
Yes, Mina.
Where is she?
She died a few years ago. Pneumonia.
Professor, I'm so sorry.
Yes, I miss her very much. You said your sister was once very sick too?
Yes, but she's much better now. I can't wait for the day you finally get to meet her. I hope you know how often I wrote about you in the letters home, Fritz. I was so grateful to have a friend. I'm sorry I never said thank you for that. I was so busy I couldn't make it back home in time for Christmas. I mailed gifts home for my family, but I couldn't figure out what to get you until I thought of something Beth did for me one year. I left gifts all around your rooms. It'll be like a scavenger hunt.
Miss March, is another one of yours?
Yes, Amy showed me how to make them before she left.
Amy, your sister in Europe?
Yes, she's quite the artist. And Beth is too, just with music. Meg's high society. I think I'm the odd one out.
Writing is not an art form then?
Well, it is, but it's certainly not as graceful or important.
Will you ever give me the honor of reading your work?
Maybe someday. Right now, only Beth's allowed to read it. Unless it's published, of course, but those aren't really my personal stories.
What kind of stories do you publish, if they're not personal?
I'm not sure what you'd call them. I don't know if I've ever really written something real, truthful.
Well, if anybody could do it, it'd be you.
Thanks, Professor.
The children are going to fits when they see this. Thank you, Joe.
Joe?
I mean, Miss March, I apologize.
You're welcome. Fritz. Speaking of writing, it was around the New Year when I finally got a letter back from the Weekly Volcano inviting me in for an interview with their editor.
Miss March, Mr. Dashwood, senior editor. I don't have much time, so I'll make this brief. We'll take your work.
Really?
If you don't object to a few alterations. It's too long, but omitting the passages we've marked will make it just the right length.
You've certainly changed a lot of things. You've taken out all my moral reflections.
Yes, morals. Morals don't sound nowadays. People don't want a sermon, they want a good story. And the Demon of Juba is one, if you make the alterations.
That is, what compensation?
Normally we would get from 25 to 30 for things of this sort, but for you I'd say 15. We normally don't publish female authors.
Oh, well, I think that...
We'll send you the money when it runs in next week's paper. Until then, if you have any more stories, send them in, as long as they're short and spicy. And never mind the moral. What name will you publish under?
None, sir. I'd rather be anonymous.
I'll see you then.
I picked something up for you. What is it?
You've forgotten to take your hat off.
It was Franz doing that little scoundrel. The Weekly Volcano, I wish these stories didn't come to this house. They're not for young people to see.
Is it one of the really sussy ones?
The Demon of Juba. I mean, look at this. This is a picture of a man being stabbed. How awful.
Well, you can't judge a story by the illustration.
I would rather give my students gunpowder than this.
Many very respectable people make an honest living out of what are called sensation stories.
If the respectable people knew what harm they did, they wouldn't feel as the living was honest.
Some people don't have much of a choice.
Still, they have no right.
Sometimes people don't have enough money to worry about what's respectable and what's not. The stories aren't bad, they're just silly and stupid, and yes, they're not for children, but children aren't reading them. You know, maybe the author wishes she could do better. She knows she can, but morals don't sell. And if I don't make money, then I can't take back the mountains, and if I can't... Please excuse me.
Miss March, Joe. Joe, wait. I didn't know they were your stories, Joe.
Doesn't matter. You said what you thought. I respect that.
I still had no right to hurt your
You
feelings.
said you'd pick something up for me? It's from home.
What is it? Is everything okay?
Yes, it is. I just missed something very important.
Dear Joe, you are an aunt. Meg had a successful labor and is now a proud mother to twins.
Wait, what? Let me see.
Just Meg and John named them Daisy after Meg and Demi John, or Demi for short. Please come home, love, Beth. Oh, congratulations.
I can't believe I missed it. I have to go home right away.
You're leaving.
I have to.
I'll be back.
Wait. You're right. I can write better than this.
Joe.
I have enough sense to realize when someone else is right, which is more than some people have.
Yes.
That's all of it.
Let me escort you to the train station. You can't go alone.
Oh, no, that's all right. I think I have enough experience navigating the city by now. I'd better go tell Mrs. Kirk I'll be leaving in the morning. Fritz?
Yes?
Thank you.
Joe? Joe, is that you?
Teddy!
Joe, you're
I
back!
missed you so much! How are you? You look well.
Lovely.
How's Beth?
Sweet as ever.
Meg?
I wouldn't know. She doesn't leave the twins for a second.
And Marmee?
A proud grandma.
Good. She deserves a little unhindered happiness. How was, the birth?
Oh, John walked a hole in the carpet, and I did take Beth for a walk. She couldn't take it. But Meg is doing much better now, and they're all waiting for us, so we better get going.
Oh, of course.
Race me?
Race? Goodness, Teddy, we're practically adults. And I'm gonna win!
What? Hey, Joe! Joe, get back here, you cheater! Gotcha.
I'm the cheater, Teddy. You cheated. I won. You know I would have won. What if I had? Teddy.
Joe.
No, Teddy, please.
Please, Joe, you know we have to have it out sometime. You know we do.
Fine.
I've loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. You're so good and improper and so good for me.
And I love you too.
Yes, now let's go to Meg's.
No, you're not listening. I've always loved you. As a friend, as my best friend, but nothing more than that. I never meant to make you care for me like this.
People can learn to love each other.
Not us. We are not suited to each other. We would fight all the time and be miserable.
We wouldn't be miserable. Please, Joe, everyone expects it. Let's go to Meg's and be happy.
No, we would not be happy. We would be unhappy for the rest of our lives, and we would wish we hadn't done it.
Can't you try, Joe?
I have tried. I have, but I can't force myself to feel something I don't. Hey. Hey. Listen. Hey. One day, you'll forget all about this. And you'll meet some lovely, accomplished girl who'll make you so happy.
Some other girl. Joe, I can't love anyone but you. I love you.
Stop
I
it.
love you.
Stop it. Stop. I don't think I'll ever marry Teddy. I love my liberty too much.
You will marry. And I'll have to stand by and watch.
Maybe I will, Teddy, and maybe you will. You know what? I've done my best to tell you gently, but you won't listen, so here it is. I will always love you. You are one of my family. I will love you as a friend, but I cannot marry you. I will never marry you.
All right. Never mind then.
Teddy. Teddy, where are you going? Teddy and his grandpa left for Europe 3 weeks later. They've been planning to go for a long time, so it wasn't all a heartbroken tizzy, but looking back, Fritz, I think he expected me to go with him. When he walked away on the day he left, I knew I was never going to see the boy I knew again. I wrote him every day. When he'd go on trips before, he'd write me all the time, long tales of all his ridiculous adventures, and I would miss him so much, and I couldn't wait for him to get back so we could talk about it, but Teddy didn't answer any of my letters. Not then. Actually, the first any of us heard of him was from Amy. She met him in Nice.
What do you think of these flowers? I can't seem to get the shading just right. It needs to pop. Aunt March? Never mind. Excuse me, sir, can you please move? I need the lighting for my... Oh my goodness, Laurie?
Amy, is that you?
You said you'd be here a few days ago.
Sorry, I got detained on the way.
How are you?
All right.
How's Beth?
Happy as a lark since Joe's back.
Oh, good. You must tell me all about yourself. Sit down. Where have you been? Any work?
Oh, no, just going to dances, parties, things like that. How about you? How's the masterpiece coming?
Oh, there isn't going to be one.
Why not?
Rome took all the vanity out of me. Turns out I'm not as good as I used to think. I wanted to be great or nothing, and I turned out to be nothing. Besides, I have other things to do.
Like what?
Unless I'm horribly mistaken. Fred Vaughn will propose to me by and by, and I'll say yes.
Fred, do you love him?
He's rich beyond belief, Laurie. He's even richer than you. I can take care of my family for the rest of their days. Get Beth the best doctor money can buy. Turns out I can't do it with art, so I'll do it with Fred.
Oh, where's my Amy with dreams too big for her head?
Sometimes dreams have to die, and there's nothing we can do about it.
You're right about that.
How's your grandfather? Well, I hope.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen him in weeks.
Weeks? Why's that?
Natural depravity, I suppose.
Natural laziness, more like it. You really should go to him. He's probably lonely.
I'd be more of a bother to him if I went.
Why are you acting like this?
Like what?
Oh, cold and rude. It's not like you. What would Jo say if she could see you now?
The usual, go away, Teddy, I'm busy.
Why are you talking like that about Jo?
Are you going to lecture me now?
No. You look like a knight, asleep in his tube.
Wish I was.
That's a dumb wish.
Almost like the wish to marry rich and not for love, especially coming from one of your mother's girls.
What am I supposed to do, Laurie? Get a job? Doing what? Make money? How? I have to marry into this world to get some stability. May I ask you something?
Why not?
Because you'll be angry.
Oh, I'm never angry with you.
We'll see about that.
Can't wait.
Do you want to know what I honestly think of you?
Longing to be told.
I despise you.
Why? If you please.
Because the boy I knew was kind, useful, and nice. You're rude, lazy, and miserable.
Strong language, mademoiselle.
If you like it, I'll go on.
Please do, it's quite interesting.
I thought so. Selfish people always like to talk about themselves.
I'm selfish?
Yes, very selfish, and rude, and mean, and not at all like yourself.
Oh, Amy, I promise I'll be good.
Aren't you ashamed of a hand like that? It's soft and white and looks like it never did anything but wear the best gloves and mope around. I wish Jo was here. She'd make you see.
So do I.
Did something happen between you and Jo?
Didn't she tell you?
You asked her to marry you, didn't you? And she said no. I'm sorry about that. I really am. But that doesn't give you the right to act like a child. If you can't be loved, at least you can be respected.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
Thank you.
I suppose we all need to be set straight every once in a while. Are you going to the dance at the Bonds tonight?
Of course.
I'll see you there then. Dear Meg, I'm writing this just to you because I think you're the only one who will understand. I think I've just saved myself from a terrible, terrible mistake. Let me explain. I went to a dance last night. I wore the best dress I had. Fred Vaughn came in just after I finished getting dressed, and he told me he expected some lovely waltzes with me. He expects us to be married. I know he does. I guess I expected it too. He tells me I'm the prettiest girl in Europe. But when I showed him my sketches last week, I haven't completely quit art, you know, and there was such an inspiring clump of roses in the garden, and I just... Well, anyway, he didn't seem to care. Just after Fred left the dressing room, I looked at myself in the mirror. My hair and makeup were impeccable, and my dress flattered me in every way. And I realized I looked like a doll. A pretty little porcelain doll, so elegant and exquisite and refined. Perfect. Perfect for Fred Vaughn's shelf. I always thought marrying Fred Vaughn or some other fabulously rich man was what I had to do. But what if it's not? Anyway, all of my plans are falling apart, and I don't really know what to do. Give the babies a kiss for me. Love, Amy.
Beth slept most of the trip to the seashore, but you should have seen her face when we got there. She was happier than a lark with the sand and the waves. We spent every day out there in the sunshine. Fairy tales, the good ones bookmarked. Perfect. Once upon a time, in a lovely kingdom by the edge of the sea, perfect, don't you think? There lived a princess who was very selfish. Don't worry, she gets better by the end. Beth?
Oh, good. Keep reading, please.
Well, just tell me if something's wrong, all right? The princess cared only for herself and was content to be alone all her days. One day, when she went out to play, she saw a little green frog sitting on a lily pad.
I'm dying, Joe.
Everyone's dying, Beth.
You know that's not what I meant.
No.
I felt
Is that why you were so sad before I left? Did you feel it then and keep it to yourself all this time?
Yes.
You didn't tell me. How could you shut me out and go through it all alone?
I didn't want to be a burden to you, Joe. I've weighed you down your entire life. Besides, I thought I would get better, but it's not hard to think about anymore. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Okay? You are not a burden. You will get better.
It's like the tide, Joe. Once it turns, it goes slowly, but it can't be stopped.
It will be stopped. It will be stopped. I will work, I will pray, I will fight against it. God won't be so cruel as to take you from me.
It's His will that I go, Joe. I try to be willing. I didn't know how to express myself to anyone besides you. I thought I'd be homesick for you, even from heaven. You have to promise me you won't be alone when I go. You have to stay with Him. You cannot run. Okay? Oh, look. It's one of the gray sandbirds. I love the little ones. You're like a seagull, Joe. Strong and wild and untamable. Meg is a turtle dove. And Amy's like a skylark. Happy and close to the sky.
I'm gonna have you well and rosy by the time Amy gets back, you hear? I promise.
I just never see you anymore.
I know, I'm sorry, John, but Daisy and Demi need me.
I know they do, and I love them, and I love that you love them, but with your sister so ill, maybe you could just leave them with me, just for a little while.
Of course, yes, just for a little while though. It's already been so long. I have to finish this.
I know you have a lot on your shoulders, but you could just let
Please, John, I need to work on this.
I'll see you later.
How is she?
Sleeping? She sleeps all the time now. What are you doing?
Writing letters.
Who are they for?
Amy and Laurie.
Amy, you must come home at once if you want to see Beth before... You can't send this.
Amy and Laurie would be devastated if
She's going to get better, Joe. What if Beth hears about this, huh? You're gonna break her spirit.
She barely wakes up anymore. I don't think it's love.
How can you say that?
Joe, would you just stop it, please?
She's going to get better. She's going to fight. Don't you dare send those back!
She's not gonna get better, John.
Beth, you okay? Hey, Beth.
Water.
Of course. Here's some. Beth, do you need me to get Barney or... She's in the other room. You want me to get her or...
I'm glad she's here.
Me too.
Tell me a story, Joe.
Which one?
Tell me our story.
Okay, I'll try. It starts at Christmas time. Remember that when we were all groaning for the dreadful Christmas we expected to have? All except you, of course. We were rehearsing The Witch's Curse, an operatic tragedy. You didn't have any lines because you were so sweet and shy, and you didn't want anyone to notice you, not if you didn't have to. I remember you were so nervous to go over to Lawrence's, but when you did, you lit up Mr. Lawrence's world like no one else ever had. You're good at that, you know? And hey, Beth, hey, I'm not done yet. Beth, the story's not done. The story's not finished. Beth, come on, Beth. Beth! Please, God, no. Oh, Beth. Oh, my sweet girl.
Oh, Amy.
Wow, look at you. These tarts look scrumptious. Did you make them?
Are you kidding? They wouldn't be edible if I made them.
Such a lovely last day, don't you think?
Yes.
She loved days like this.
She did.
I should tell you, Fred Vaughn proposed yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
I said no.
why? I thought you were sad.
Well, I can't marry him when I'm in love with somebody else.
I got a letter from Jo the other day. It's from before. She was reiterating her point and asked if we could still be friends like the old days.
What did you say?
Yes, of course. It's strange though. I've tried to tell myself she's my only love and I can't love anyone but her, but I think the love's changed, and she was right. We would have been miserable.
I think that's wise. Laurie, I'm scared to go home.
Scared?
I don't want to go and not have her run out to meet me. I don't think I can take it.
Well, we can go in together. Take it together. It's easier that way.
I'd like that. Laurie,
Yes?
what if we were together longer than that?
I wouldn't mind a bit. Jo, where are you at?
Up here, Teddy.
Jo.
When did you get back?
Just a little bit ago.
How are you? You look well.
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Where's Amy?
She's downstairs. Once we came through the door, there was no getting my wife out of their clutches.
What? You and Amy are married?
Just a few weeks ago.
Amy didn't say anything in her letters.
It all happened so fast, and she wanted it to be a nice surprise for your mother.
You look so happy. I'm sure Amy's over the moon.
She is. We are. We really are. Jo, I want to say one thing, and then we can put it all behind us, okay? I love you, Jo, and I'll never stop loving you. But the love has altered. And I've learned to see it's better that way. So, can we go back to being friends like we were?
I wish we could, but we're not kids anymore, Teddy. The happy old times can't come back, you know that.
Jo, when I heard about Beth, it caught me so off guard. Even though she'd been sick for so long, how are you doing?
Better, now that you two are finally home.
I think I hear Grandpa.
Oh.
They're all waiting for you, you know.
I'll be down in a minute.
Jo? There you are. I've been looking everywhere. Laurie said you'd be up here.
You certainly have a flair for the dramatic, Amy. Home and married all at once. Did that letter you sent have anything to do with it?
Yes, that was the start of it. At least I think so. I wish you could have been there for the wedding. All of you.
Amy, sweetheart, how have you been?
Well as I can be, I guess, given.
We were worried about you.
Yeah, well, the first days, weeks were awful. I couldn't stop thinking about the what ifs, you know? What if I had come home in time? What if I had never gone in the first place? But when Laurie came, it changed things. Having someone to talk to about her made all the difference.
Good. She'd be really happy for you and Laurie, Amy.
I know. How have you guys been over here?
We're all right. Meg's been helping me out over here.
Joe, how have you been doing?
Fine.
Really? You haven't written any letters, and it's not like you. I just thought.
I don't really feel like writing.
Can I ask why?
Well, it's not as if I'm a good writer, and scribbling's never going to take me anywhere anyway. It's better for me to do something helpful, useful.
Joe, are you sure you're okay?
Yes, I am. I'm fine. Why do you keep questioning me about this?
Joe, she's saying you shut yourself up in here.
Because I just need some time, okay? I need time to think.
You take such good care of us, but if...
It's not but if anything.
Joe.
You're the one I should be asking about, Amy. You're the one who just got back up like it didn't even happen, like she didn't even exist.
That is not true.
You know what, Amy? You're right. Is that what you want? You're right. I am not okay. I'm not okay at all. I wish it was me instead of her. All I do is drive people away. Is that what you want? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Joe, you want to know one of my favorite things about Beth? She had a heart for lonely people. People like Mr. Lawrence and me when you were angry with me. Remember? She took people in. She made the world seem like a lot less scary place because she was always there for you. And I miss that. I miss her so much.
Beth didn't want me to be alone. But that's all I seem to be able to be. I'm so alone, Amy.
We're here, Joe. We're here.
What are you working on?
A story.
Well, I can see that. What's it about?
It's about us.
Us?
Yes. Just our trials and adventures and the like. Silly girl things.
There's nothing silly about them.
And that's it. Fritz. That's the end. I know it's long, but my family likes everything I write, so I thought I could send it to you because I know you'll be honest with me. If you could just write a line or two back, I would really appreciate it. Cordially, love. Your friend, Topsy-Turvy Jim. Just the paper?
Oh, could you pick up some purple ribbon, dear? So, Meg asked for it specifically.
I'll be back in a few hours.
And be careful, dear. It looks like rain.
Miss, you're getting wet. Here, please take my umbrella.
Fritz!
Joe? Oh, it's you. I had business in Concord, and it's so wonderful to see you. Oh, you're getting wet.
Oh, how long will you be here?
Oh, not long, I'm afraid. Friends in Amy are waiting for me.
Oh, that's too bad. Not that they're waiting, it's just, I would have loved for you to meet my family. Amy's back from Europe, and so is Teddy, so.
Teddy, the young man you talked about.
Yes. He and Amy are blissfully happy. Newlyweds, you know.
Oh, you see, I thought you and Teddy were.
Oh, no.
I'm glad. That is good. Is they married?
Yes, it is.
Joe?
It was really nice to see you.
Yes, I will miss you very much. Joe?
Yes?
Never mind.
Wait, Friedrich, wait! I know I always said that I didn't want to get married, that I wanted to stay a spinster and write books and
that is good.
Yes, but part of the reason why I wanted that so much was because I thought I could never love anyone that way, and I certainly thought no one could ever love me that way, but you know what? I'm not going to hide from being loved anymore. And I know I can love someone like that because I love you. I still want to do something splendid with my life, but I want you there too.
You're saying?
I don't want you to leave. I'm so sorry. I never should have.
Here on business. I came because I read your letter, and you were lonely, and I love you too.
You came all the way here?
Yes, and your writing, it was beautiful, Joe. It's the kind of writing I wish everyone could read. You must publish it or something.
I have to take you home. I have to show you to my family.
But Joe, I have nothing to give you. My hands are empty.
Not empty now. Let me see. Hannah, it looks perfect. Stop. It's coming straight. Oh, okay. Hang on. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, girls, you shouldn't have. That's what I said. This cake took 2 eternities to make.
Didn't help that Joe seemed to drop everything she touched.
Well, now.
Oh, Hannah, it's not every day someone turns 60.
It's beautiful, thank you.
Fritz helped with the icing.
Help this what?
Fritz, you missed the surprise.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, Fritz?
Done it again.
You came at the perfect time. I was just gonna tell them,
Tell us what?
well, on March past, she willed me her house. Well, I finally decided what I'm gonna do with it. We're going to start a school.
A school?
Fritz and I have been talking about it for a while now. We'll take in kids no one else will take and teach them.
Oh, I love it, Joe. 3 cheers for Marmee!
Hooray, Marmee!
In all my life, girls, I couldn't wish you as great a happiness as this.
I'm not alone, Beth. I'm not alone. The story is just beginning.